Lynn, and you had to cycle home to West Lynn in the blackout, no lights at all, and your cycle used to have your light dimmed.
Even one tiny little light would enable the German aircraft to navigate their way around.
Have you ever heard about when the Eagle got bombed?
Yeah.
I saw the bombs leave the plane. This plane got through without the air raid siren going, and I was playing down the bottom of our garden, and I heard the planes were all coming back from a bombing raid, and because you'd hear them coming. A lot of them would have damaged engines. They'd be stuttering, and eventually I heard this diving, and I looked up in the sky, and there was this big plane diving towards King's Lynn, and I saw the cross on it, and I saw the bombs leave the plane. And of course, I could hear this whistling. My mother ran down the garden, threw me on she heard it, she was in the sink, she threw me on the ground and covered myself with her body. I wonder if I'm the only one who ever saw that happen.
My mate and I, Lenny Branford, we was up the top of Mud Lane, that's St Valerie's Lane now, up the top there, we was out on Wisbeach Road. And we heard this noise. When we looked over towards the town, we see this plane, so we knew it was a German plane by the sound. And we actually see the plane drop the bomb what blasted the Eagle Hotel out of existence.
I remember we'd been to the pictures, and we stood in the garden with my dad and saw these bombs come down, and they bombed the Eagle pub. Quite a lot of people lost their lives because that was just before closing time.
And because we were told, now don't you dare go near the Eagle pub on the following morning. You keep away from the Eagle pub. Yes, Mum, we won't go near it. Well, what did we do? We went straight up to the Eagle pub, didn't we? And we were watching them still digging the bodies out, and then they're carrying all the bodies from there up into the Tower Street. They were putting them in the old chapel, lining them up on the floor, all the dead bodies. And there was families going in trying to identify the people.
Chap who worked at Cooper's with us, Billy Adams, that was his 21st birthday, weren't it? That was it.
Every day boys came to school or girls came to school, they'd lost a parent. And that was life, every day. But you were taught you must go on, you had to carry on. There was no, you felt sorry for them and you'd see them crying, you'd comfort them.
It was explained to me by my mother, that why houses were bombed and what was happening, but it didn't really, I don't think it sank in. It was what they call the age of innocence. In fact, we were probably very naive in comparison to a young folk nowadays. When I'm with my grandchildren, they're far more streetwise than I am even now, because of the environment in which they live.
It was a big adventure for children of my age.
Down Queen Mary Road was a big public shelter, which if you were caught out, you would go in. Well, us kids, we thought it was marvellous to play in there, and it was dark, we used to frighten each other saying there's ghosts around the corner there, someone's going to get you.
It's dark in here. It's not nice.
Stop there, laddie.
One night we were dashing around there straight in the arms of the police sergeant, and MacDonald was the local policeman, and policemen were different then. You didn't run from a policeman because he knew you, and he grabbed hold of me and said, "What do you think you're doing?"
Are you playing in the bomb shelter?
No, I was just messing around.
It's not for playing in, it's for bombs. Come on, what will your ma think about this? Let's get back to the house.
So he marched me home to my father. There was no there was no police cars. He marched you home to your father and said, "I've just caught him in there running riot. What should we do with him?"
What's he done this time?
He's been mucking about in the bomb shelter.
Come on, Alan.
Scaring wee girls.
I'm so sorry, officer. It's just, with his dad away and everything.
He's out of control.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'll sort him out.
You best keep him in the house for 7 days.
Okay.
Not a day less.
Hopefully we can get him sorted out, eh?
I'll be keeping an eye on you, laddie.
So I wasn't allowed to go out for 7 nights. And every time Mac went by on his bike, he used to say, 4 more nights to go, boy.
2 more days still to go.
When I was at school at St James off London Road, they had a purge of collecting paper for the war effort. Depending on how much paper by weight you collected, you started off as a corporal, then a sergeant, and you had little badges. And according to how much paper you'd collected for the war effort, you got that. Well, I was rather lucky because myself and a friend borrowed a wheelbarrow, and an elderly gentleman gave us an old copy of the Encyclopedia Britannica. And we suddenly shot up from being corporals to major generals.
Hi, we're collecting paper for the war effort. Would you like to contribute?
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you. Encyclopedia Britannia.
We're gonna be major general soon.
Yeah.
There were a number of things I didn't like about school in those days. One was having to practice wearing gas masks. I found them very claustrophobic.
A gas mask was part of your body. You never went anywhere without a gas mask. And I can remember going home from school, and we were going home down the Broad Walk. There was no Bishop's Road, that was all open fields then, and woods. We used to walk through there across into Queen Mary Road. Well, come one night, we were coming home from school with our gas masks, and there were 2 horses in this field. So we decided that we were going to ride these horses.
Hey guys, look, horses! Who is coming with me?
Let's go.
Let's go.
So I took off my gas mask, put it beside the gate. The gate swung open, bang. When I picked up my gas mask, it was in ribbons.
Oh, look, my gas mask is broken.
Well, it was panic. I can still remember the panic to this day. Oh my God, we'd been brainwashed. I've got to have a gas mask. I remember running home as fast as my legs would take me into the house, clutching this gas mask.
Oh, my gas mask is broken.
Oh no!
She went into a bit of a panic. She called the neighbour, Mrs. Delahoy.
Look!
No, but I think I found at home.
It's gonna be alright, son. It's gonna be alright.
Here, try this on. Put this on.
So she got hers, and that wouldn't fit me. It was made for an adult.
It can't fit, doesn't fit.
So someone said, well, get him up to the police station, which is this building. Well, my mother and I ran all the way from Gaywood up to here, coming in here, clutching this broken gas mask. And I'm sure it was this room we came into, which was full of gas masks. And I had a new one fitted. And I remember going outside there thinking, oh, thank God I've got a gas mask again.
Did your auntie have any evacuees?
No, but my mother-in-law did. But I didn't know her then, but they had one from London. And in the village, we had quite a lot of evacuees.
We lived on the corner of Holton Road, number 1. And all the day way down there was all these evacuees with labels on them, carrying a suitcase.
Victoria, quick, look!
Who are they?
I think they might be the evacuees from London.
Where are they going to go?
Well, not here, because I have my hands full with you.
Are you Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
I'm from the council. How many people are living in this house?
2.
Well, you've got plenty of room for 2 more then. Come on in, children. Be good for Mrs. Smith.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
Goodbye.
Excuse me.
One of the famous ones who was evacuated here, Morris Micklewhite. Who's he? Michael Caine.
Ragtime, talk about your ragtime, ragtime, talk about your ragtime.
You could walk around in safety during the war in a blackout. The key for the door used to be on a piece of string. You could leave your money on the stairs and all that there. Nobody touched it. Nobody touched it. Because the community around there was absolutely magnificent.
There were tram lines and cobblestones. There were lots of little alleyways.
There were 3 picture places, Theatre Royal, Majestic, and that had a lovely dance floor.
Various cafes, restaurants, pubs that the RAF, the Army, and of course the American Air Force used. And there was always a queue of children on the Tuesday marketplace waiting for chewing gum from the American soldiers who came in, or American airmen who came in.
When the war ended,
Yes.
what was the first thing you did?
Got drunk.
I lived on the corner of Lansdowne Street, but there were 5 other streets as well. And each one of those had an open air party on the day that the war ended.
Well, we all went on to the Tuesday marketplace. That was absolutely packed. And then we all slept around my friend's house in Holcombe Avenue because we couldn't get back to West Lynn.
Each street was like Notting Hill Carnival.
Over the course of this project, there were many things that stood out to us as being very different to our lives today. Food and clothing was rationed. Today we have so much choice and availability at our fingertips. The sense of community was something that all of our interviewees spoke of. The courage and determination to keep going, even when times were hard, was inspiring.
We have learnt a great deal about our heritage, and we would like to thank all the people who gave up their time to share their precious memories with us.
You get like people nowadays who have like one thing go wrong and they're always like, oh, it's the end of the world because like just this one bad thing happened to me. But these people actually got on with their lives and their lives were basically ruined, but they got on with their lives and they like didn't take everything for granted.
Some people just stayed in bed when the bombs were going off. Some people got out and got really panicky. It was just the reactions, like what we got told of different people, were quite surprising.
You think about it now, you don't let your kids go out and play on the streets, do you? Back then there was like bombs coming down, but your kids were more safe playing on the streets than they are nowadays. I don't know if they really are, but people were less paranoid back then about it. Nowadays there's just like so much paranoia sort of built into our society.
The funniest story that I heard was probably the Spiv, the young man who used to steal the sweet rations from the bin and used to sell them at school.
They told some quite good stories, because I thought like World War II was quite boring or didn't want to learn about it. But then when I actually got to learn about it, it's quite fun. Because like, we get their stories and we act them out, and it's quite fun.